Look, and then look again. Look closer. You missed something. Look closer. Matrix 4 Resurrections is the greatest film of the 21st century, a satirical masterpiece, a cinematic experience that will change the way you look at sequels forever. But in order to fully appreciate this film, first you must detach yourselves from this notion of what sequels are and what purpose they serve. For this sequel is something else.
So stealth will be paramount.
Something dangerous.
The sheeple aren't going anywhere. They like my world.
As long as we raise no alarm, this first part of the mission should be the easiest.
Something that shouldn't be played with because of its potential to upset the status quo. In order to grasp the true meaning, you have to be willing to let go. Let it go. Take a chance and let go. You're better off without it. Now exit the Matrix and enter the domain of the unknown.
The construct. In between everything and nothing. Welcome to the crib.
This film has been described as meta. And sure, Matrix 4 references the original trilogy, but there is only one true meta moment. More on that later. The point of the references is to trigger that feeling of the familiar, the comforting. Nostalgia. We've all fallen victim to its comforting embrace. It is reliable, alluring, tantalizing, and above all else, it is safe. How can it ever go wrong?
It's the question that drives us.
Well, if you're an artist,
you made a new Matrix.
It can destroy your soul. Rely on it too much, and it will destroy your soul.
Why now? Why is now the right time for more Matrix?
Nostalgia. The exact opposite of originality. And everyone falls victim to it. Everyone. And it is the true antagonist of the film. No, this is not a film about Neo and Trinity. Not a film about Morpheus and Agent Smith. Rather, it is about one artist and her attempt to recapture her very soul. Now look again. Detach yourselves and look again. Neo is not Neo. Trinity is not Trinity. They are more than that. At the end of Act 1, Lana Wachowski gives you the thesis of her film.
If you are where you belong, you can go back to this every day, over and over, forever.
Hello, Peter.
Play it safe, rely on nostalgia, and die inside? Or do what artists do best, take a risk and change the road?
All I'm saying is this is the moment for you to show us what is real. If you want out, you'll take this pill.
And it's at this point your eyes are on board or you're not. If she has failed, you will continue to ride the surface of the film and be bliss. Or you wake up and you'll realize that the true meaning is playing underneath the surface, in the subtext. You remember subtext, don't you? Or have the machines robbed you of that too? Now, remember having your mind blown when you left the theater after watching the original Matrix? Now remember being disappointed after watching Resurrections? Well, fasten your seatbelt, Dorsey. Now it's time to fly. You've just been given the pill. And believe me, it's gonna be a tough pill to swallow, but you need it. That first dose of the Matrix left you wanting more, And the bad news is,
your brain is hooked on the shit the Matrix has been force-feeding you for years.
My name is Khan.
What should I tell your men when they find out you're gone?
I'll be back.
At last, hooked bad. You're going through major withdrawals. Docbots are giving you crap odds for surviving.
and it's about here that you should be realizing that which was never obscure in the first place. Morpheus is talking directly at you. He might as well be looking straight into the camera, but somehow you missed it. Why? You have to ask yourselves why. Why did the film go over your head? And why is it that you're still struggling to put the pieces together? I submit it is because you have been conditioned into believing that filmmakers made films for one purpose.
Oh, yeah. They taught you good.
To get you to feel what you have felt in the past. To remind us that life can be comfortable.
Made you believe their world was all you deserved.
If only you could live in that past, where it is safe and no one can hurt you, because you don't have to risk anything.
You know what? None of this costs you fucking anything. You risk nothing. Nothing. I'm a fucking actor.
Life is bliss.
This cost me everything.
Here in the Matrix, life is bliss. But I'm afraid that some of you are too far gone. I'm afraid that taking this one small pill is not going to work on y'all. Some of y'all are gonna have to take this motherfucking suppository.
An Andrew Garfield era reference when Peter whips the manhole cover, recalling the very last time we saw Andrew Garfield.
Oh yeah.
Then you'll comprehend. You'll comprehend what is at stake here. So listen up. I'm about to break it down, Barney style, so that you understand. This is not a thematic subtext. It's the whole fucking narrative. An allegory for Lana and her struggle to exercise her inner demons. She has to make amends for what she, herself, helped to put into motion.
How could I know this would happen?
We didn't understand all of it back then.
This new record-breaking Matrix.
No more than we do now.
I've been setting productivity records every year since I took over. And the best part, zero resistance. People stay in their pods.
Because it made Spider-Man No Way Home not the third biggest opening weekend in cinematic history. It has made it the second biggest weekend in cinematic history. Let's see if I can get zoomed in on this a bit more.
That is incredible.
She has to free her love from the machines. And what exactly are the machines? Look again. Please, for the sake of cinema, look again. Now do you see? Now do you understand?
Happier than pigs in shit.
And now that you got the message, what the fuck are you gonna do with it?
There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
Are you full? Full of all this slop they've been feeding you? Have you had your fill? You ready? Are you ready to take on the machines? And take this motherfucker back? Take it back and give the power to whom it belongs? That we allowed the suits to take this art form from the artist is shameful. That we sat back and settled for the familiar instead of taking a risk. What would they think of us? What happened? Where did we go wrong? When did we turn ourselves into slaves? Why did we allow the analysts to manipulate our strings? Well, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done being their puppet. The only string of mine that Hollywood is welcome to manipulate is attached to my middle finger. If you're ready, I'm ready. Ready for war. Now grab your shit and rally up. Peel away, bitch. Listen up. There are certain directors that never got sucked up into the Matrix. They are generals, and they never abandoned their posts. We just turned our back to them, but all the while, they refused to sell their souls. And now the time has come for us to go to war for them. They made me laugh, and they made me cry. They taught me something about love and redemption, and I'm old enough to remember what it was like before the machines took over, back when they were in charge. Back when their art told us something about what it is to be human and what was worth fighting for. So now's the time for war. Sure, we may have lost a few generals to the machines, one in particular. They forced him to slash his canvas. They pimped his ass for all he was worth and threw him to the curb. And guess what? His ass went back for more.
Doctor Strange 2 is currently going through extensive reshoots to add a lot more characters. I hear they're adding a ton more characters, because Marvel felt they were too light on Easter eggs to please fans.
Around these parts, they have a certain name for those that conspire with machines. They call him a socket. I just call him a little bitch. Fuck him. Let's wrap it up. The machines are beginning to suspect something. Now let us examine what it means to be meta. Meta means to be self-referential, and that only takes place once in this film.
Trinity is held in the Anomalium, which is in this transmission tower. The passages used to rescue Neo are now sealed, and a legion of sentinels patrols the tower. So stealth will be paramount.
The point of the film is for us to wake up and begin to appreciate films for their originality. In order for Lana to do so, she must first convince the masses to take this one small red pill. And how exactly does she manage to dose millions of people with a single pill? She lets the machines do it for her. She cuts up the pill and hides the dose where the machines least expect it, in the slop. You see, this film is the pill, and you criticized it for being nostalgia bait and member berries. But all the while, she secretly dosed you. But for whatever reason, you didn't realize it. You were too busy trying to discern what she was yelling into one ear and not listening to what she was whispering into the other. You forgot how to appreciate this art form. You've been riding the surface for the last 2 decades and never bothered to look down because you never had to.
It's a frame!
I hope you take another look at this film, and I hope you remember not what you felt. Rather, I hope you remember what it was that made you feel. I hope you wake up. To say that Lana has inspired me is to miss the point. Artists make art. It's not that I'm inspired. It's that I'm compelled. What she has done is given us a blank canvas. So grab your pen and pad and make art. Put your goddamn souls into it. Put yourselves out there again. Fuck playing it safe. Those days are over.
You know what this is?